What's up, guys? It's the Reality Grizzly back with you for a review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 13. Now, y'all know I don't like to waste no time, so let's get into it, period. So, the episode starts off with Shamia and Shia gathering their donations while waiting for the ladies to arrive with theirs. Now, I love this moment because Shamia is teaching Shia to pay it forward, which is something that's very special to me because it's something that my mom instilled in me, and I still do it to this day. So, big ups to Shamia for teaching her daughter that valuable lesson. Now, some of the ladies stagger in. Cynthia's not there, but she does send in her donations. It looks like Cynthia sent a lot of stuff. I know she said in her little interview that she was very strategic about what she bought, and she was very excited about it. Portia sent in a monetary donation, I'm assuming. I didn't see anything in the clip that Portia was sent, but I do believe it was monetary donation. Angela says she stopped by the Salvation Army, something her mom taught her to do while she was younger. And then we get to Britt. I'm sorry, no shade, but people like Britt is what makes my skin crawl. Britt arrives with one box that looks hella light. Shamia opens it. It's like 3 packs of tissue, 2 little boxes of Kleenex, and then she says, oh, that's all she can carry right now. She's going to have someone drop off some other donations. I'm sorry, but it's giving broke. Just last episode, we saw how her event went. Things weren't prepared, things weren't organized, and now we get to this situation, and it just seems like Britt is not really willing to spend her money. Anyway, Shamia fills the girls in about how the conversation went with Portia. Hopefully this doesn't backfire and it makes Shamia look like she's talking about Portia again. But I do think Portia is understanding, okay, Shamia will be asked about me and our friendship. She doesn't have an issue with Shamia addressing it. Just don't bring it back to her in a negative way. Now we get to the conversation we've all been waiting for. Portia finally has a sit down with Drew over tea. Of course, they start off a little awkward. They order their tea while giving each other the googly eyes. Like, obviously, it's a little awkward, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, ladies. So Portia starts off the conversation saying the things that happened between Dennis and Drew are not important to her. She doesn't care what Drew does with Dennis, what Dennis does with Drew. She says, sweetie, you can even do PJ's hair, go get married, but please leave me out of it. This is like a 2 in my life, meaning it's not important, so let's move on. I will say it does sound like Portia is trying to take some accountability. She says she doesn't communicate well when she's angry, and Drew expresses the rumors are uncomfortable that Portia is spreading about her. Then Drew confronts Portia about meeting with Ralph. Portia's like, whoa, 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 I wasn't meeting up with Ralph. I was meeting up with Shamia, who was already meeting with Ralph, sweetheart. Portia's like, while you're talking about these other men, you need to claim black. Drew is like, I'm not dating anyone. I am single. Drew is like, let's talk about you and Future. Portia denies it. She's like, Future, I'm not dating Future. It just starts to get really messy. I guess basically what Drew is saying is that people can say anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. The ladies start talking over each other. Portia's like, can I finish my sentence? Drew, of course, is doing her acting big one. And Portia is like, you know what? This conversation is not productive. And then Portia proceeds to get up and walk out. I'm sorry, I know I'm going to be killed for this, but I'm with Portia. I can't get over how Drew is very robotic. Drew is very she is performing, and it's hard to kind of relate and feel if she's being serious or not. So I can understand where Portia's coming from, and enough is enough. We get to Kelly's package up next. She is breaking down with her girls how things will operate while she's gone to the girls' trip to Grenada. She's letting them know she's going to be missing their first day of school, but I don't think the girls are too much bothered. They're asking, oh, how much is our budget for school clothes and this and that? And it just seems like, Mama, we'll see you when you get back. Kelly's like, all right, I'm going to go have a conversation with Uncle Lamont. She's basically like, hey, bro, this is what I'm going to need some help with while I'm gone with the girls. This is how things are going to be ran and operated. You know, the girls go to 3 different schools. This is the order that they're going to go in. Then he mentions that he has a conversation with Mark, which is the girl's father. He basically lets Kelly know that he's trying to get them to reconcile, and Mark just really isn't up for it. He keeps suggesting certain things, and Mark just keeps saying no, 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 which is really sad. Like, how can you not want anything to do with the children that you gave birth to? Super sad situation. Kelly ends the conversation by saying, "This is just Mark's typical behavior." She gets really emotional, saying he needs to do right, not by her, but by the children. The ladies arrive to the airport ready and amped to leave for Grenada. This is her first time meeting Phaedra. Phaedra's first time meeting Angela. Phaedra throws a little bit of shade, saying hopefully her personality is more youthful than her face. I totally think that was uncalled for. It wasn't really funny to me. I know some people thought it was funny, but I get it. Honey, all the ladies are ready to go. Everybody is on time and ready to board the plane. Angela says she has her braids in. She's not worried about her hair this time, thank God. The ladies finally arrive in Grenada. Don't know how long that flight is, but Shamia's bags are left in Atlanta. They are met with the travel guide and the festivities begin. Phaedra says Drew gives off her an interesting vibe. Phaedra's subtle shade is crazy. You'll think back in a few hours and be like, dang, she really shaded me. The ladies are met at the villa by chocolate men on stilts with red tongues and just a lot of commotion going on. Beautiful colors. The weather looks beautiful. Phaedra says this is her speed. And now it's time to choose the rooms. And if you know the Real Housewives and it comes to their rooms, honey, they do not play. The host, Kelly and Shamia, let the ladies know that they will be roomed with a roommate. Of course, the host together, Kelly and Shamia. Britt is paired with Phaedra. Angela is paired with Portia. Cynthia is paired with Drew. So basically, the ladies have to pick a shot with the number on the bottom of it, and whatever number is on the bottom is the suite that they will choose. All the women end up with beautiful rooms, except for Drew, unfortunately. She gets the room with a twin bed yet again. This sucks for Drew. I would be so mad. Shamia talks to Kelly about an Instagram post that Drew tagged her in and calls Drew Junocchio. Drew and Cynthia check out their room and have a conversation on Cynthia's balcony, catching up Drew on her new boyfriend, Amsterdam. Seems like she's really in love. Drew says she's not dating anybody. She's just meeting people due to the toxic divorce. And then they get into talking about Portia filming with Ralph. Cynthia was like, you filmed with Dennis, she filmed with Ralph. Can we just call this even and move on? I agree with Cynthia, and this is why she's a friend of the show. She's an excellent one. The ladies head to dinner. Yes, it's time to have some drinks, some good food. Angela announces that it's her wedding anniversary. Britt brings up to Phaedra in front of the ladies that did she see a man that was naked in front of their room, and things end up on a happy ending conversation by Kelly. Drew asks Kelly, have you ever had a happy ending? Kelly keeps her lips sealed and proceeds the conversation, saying she wants to reset the energy between Drew and Shamia about the lapdog comment. Shamia is like, girl, we have beef. Drew is like, it's because she took back information to Portia about PJ's college the wrong way, then addresses her Instagram post. Drew says, a hit dog will holler. Girl. Shady boots, honey. First a lap dog, now a hit dog will holler. Of course, things go to the left. Kelly says, no, Drew, don't say nothing back when she bites you. Of course, things get heated. Obviously, Angela's going to have Drew's back. Kelly and Portia have Shamia's back. And then Kelly asks Portia if she thinks Portia has been a good friend to Shamia. Shamia appreciates Portia having her back in that moment, you know, because we've seen in the past that it hasn't been that way, and Shamia has been left on an island by herself to defend their friendship. Kelly says Drew has an issue with everyone at the table except for Cynthia. Portia admits in the moment to being aggressive when she initially confronted Drew at Shamia's birthday party. Honey, and of course the producers are being messy, and they ask Portia, how do they know that Drew and Black are dating each other? And Portia says Dennis told her. Ooh. So things continue to get rowdy, and Kelly has enough. She says, whoever has this crystal can speak. So she passes it to Drew, Drew somewhat takes accountability, and Portia says, now let's move on once and for all. So I think at this point, they have agreed to be able to move on and leave this in the past. We have a weird random moment where Britt takes the crystal and she does some weird apology to Phaedra saying, my husband invited your ex-husband Apollo. And Phaedra's like, honey, that is not my husband anymore. That is somebody else's husband. Shamia is like, girl, what are you talking about? Read the room. The only thing we're worried about is the fact that we weren't served food at your event, sweetheart. Worry about that. The women end up agreeing to leave everything at the table so they can move on. So we'll see how the rest of this girls' trip in Grenada will turn out. Do you guys think Portia and Drew will get along the rest of the girls' trip? Also, how do you think Phaedra will fit in with the ladies? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.